don't you tell our viewers what the problem is?
We got a cow, and now we're tied to the farm, and we can't ever leave. All we can do is milk a cow. Gotta do it in the morning, and then we can't go anywhere at night. No more date nights, because we gotta milk in the evening.
Why did we get this cow?
Just kidding. We have a lot of freedom from our cow. With calf sharing, watch the video how you can have a family milk cow and still have freedom on your homestead.
Hey guys, this is Cody.
And I'm Jessie.
And this is Toops Time. So if any of you guys out there are looking into getting a family milk cow, after the research you've probably done already, it can be quite intimidating, especially all the forums that you might be reading with people telling you, you are going to be tied down, you are never going to be able to leave your farm. You have to milk this cow in the morning, and you have to milk this cow in the evening, and you have to be there to brush them all day long and take good care of them. Well, guess what? That is not the case.
That's right, and that's because of something amazing called calf sharing. And this opens up a world of freedom to different homesteads and allows you to still have a family milk cow and have freedom from your farm.
All right, so what exactly is calf sharing? So basically what calf sharing allows you to do is whenever you do not want or have the time to milk your cow, you get to share your cow's milk supply with a calf, hence the word calf sharing.
Yes, so essentially, instead of you draining for that second milking a day, your calf drains the cow for you.
Or once the calf gets old enough to drain her completely, if the calf gets left on all day, you won't even have to do that first milking. Say you were on vacation or you were just out for the day, your calf can actually do both milkings because it's just on her all day long. So.
Yes, so there are several different methods of how you can calf share, and you can choose based on your farm and how you run it. One of the ways is you can literally leave the calf with the mama cow 24/7 and then just milk whenever you decide to milk. If mornings are best or evenings are best, you want to keep it in a routine, and you can do that. Or you can also, and you might do a combination of these methods as well, and we'll talk to you about exactly what we did, because we did combine two methods. Another method would be to leave your calf on mama cow all day and then separate them at night and then milk in the morning, or you can milk in the evening if you separate the cow and the calf during the day. And then there's one other method that we just haven't done here on our farm, but it might be what's best for you. Some people will separate mama cow and calf or calves all the time. They'll always be apart other than specific nursing times where they go and put them together and monitor if they're milking or not. That's one way that people do it.
We tried a combination of method 1 and method 2 on our list, and the very first part of that method that we tried was leaving the calf on 24/7. Now, whenever your cow just comes in fresh and has just calved, that calf doesn't hardly drink any milk, so you can leave them on 24 hours a day with no hit to your milk supply at all. But after, what was it, like 2 months, I think?
That was right around 7 to 8 weeks that we saw a drop in her milk supply. So before that 7 or 8 weeks, we were getting right at 2 to 3 gallons of milk, milking once a day every morning, which we thought was more than enough, especially since she was staying on her all the time. But then...
Right, and eventually that started to slowly drop to where it was like 3/4 of a gallon. So I mean, you're doing all this work to go out, clean all of your equipment, milk the cow, then clean all your equipment again, yada yada yada, to get 3/4 of a gallon. It's just not at all worth it. So then you have to start going to method number 2, which is separating the cow from the calf. So you can do that one of 2 ways. You can either pin the mother up or pin the baby up. I tried actually pinning Autumn up at first because the calf is still really skittish and it's hard to get the calf. So the problem with pinning the cow up that you're going to be milking is that unless you just have this huge barn that they can roam around in, most people have a stall, and the cow has to go to the bathroom all throughout the night, and long story short, they lay in it, and it's just a lot more for you to clean and more risk of infection for the cow. So eventually I had to just come up with a way to get the calf into the pen, which is what we are currently doing, and it works out really, really well for us. So in the evening time, we go out and I call all of our girls in, give them a little bit of feed to distract them while I take the calf and get the calf round up and put in a pen, and then I supply the calf food and water for the night.
And then Autumn, the mama cow, is left to graze all night. So then that also helps with her milk production.
Right.
When we milk her in the morning. When she was being penned up, you know, she wasn't able to eat other than what we put in her pen, and this way it helps with her milk supply.
Right.
Okay, so since we had gone to starting to separate the calf at night, we were able to maintain getting 2 to 3 gallons of milk every morning instead of keeping that lower number. So it got it back up for us.
All right, so hopefully after what we just showed you, you're at least a little bit interested in calf sharing. So now that we have your interest, you may be wondering, when exactly do we start calf sharing? Mama has baby calf. Is it day 1? Is it day 2? When can we start drinking this milk?
So actually, you'll want to wait about the first week after mama cow calves. You'll want to leave baby calf on your mama for 24/7 for at least that first 5 to 7 days. And that's to ensure that that calf is getting that nutritious colostrum that she produces in that first week. It's extremely beneficial for the calf. You're gonna have a healthier cow that you're gonna raise if they get that colostrum.
So one thing to keep in mind too, that she did leave out, is that the mama is producing all that colostrum, but the baby won't be able to drink it all. I mean, she's going to be producing gallons and gallons of milk, and the baby just cannot handle that. So you can still milk your cow, but you need to like freezer pack, vacuum seal.
Yeah, you can freezer that colostrum somehow, just to store it away. You don't want to dump it out. I mean, you can, or you can give it to other animals on the farm, but if you freeze it, it might come in handy one day when you have a calf that's born and maybe the mama passes away. Then you're going to want to make sure that calf gets that colostrum that's so important in those first few days of life. Okay, so after that initial week, when all the colostrum's already been through mama and to baby, you get to start collecting milk. And you can also start separating your calf for up to 12 hours after that first week. You will want to monitor mama cow closely during that time just to make sure that she's not a very high producing cow. And if she is, you may have to relieve her some during that time to help prevent mastitis.
I think for the first, it might have been 3 weeks, I was still having to milk twice a day just because her production was so high that the calf wasn't even making a dent.
Yeah, and you don't want to keep her production so high if it's a family milk cow and you don't have a way to store all that amount of milk. So if you don't want to drain them at that second milking, you're basically just relieving them to help them out.
So another question we get is, how long can you actually use this calf sharing method?
Yes, so you can actually use it as long as your cow is in milk, which you're going to want to dry up mama cow eventually to birth again. She's going to calve again, and so that's when she would go into her dry period. However, you'll end up probably weaning your calf before that comes about. So you could see if she will foster another calf, if she can take on a calf that you purchase or borrow from someone else.
That all depends on what cow you have and her personality, but
yes,
a lot of Jerseys are more than happy to take on another calf. So
yes, and then that benefits your farm in the way that you can raise more beef cows for meat, different things like that. Gives you calves on the property. Yes, so now you may be wondering, well, now that the calf sharing process sounds kind of easy, how do I leave? How do I go on vacation?
Where does your freedom come from?
Yeah, how do I, if it's raining outside, can I miss milking? How does that work?
So during this entire process, you're monitoring your cow constantly to see the give and take between how much you're taking versus how much your calf is taking. And if you're starting to notice, which is the reason we had to separate them in the first place, that your calf is draining your cow, then voila, there's your freedom. So what that means is, if you're not here, that cow is still going to be drained. and you don't have to worry about your cow getting sick with mastitis.
Yeah, you just don't separate.
Right.
So you literally leave them together. Say you're going for a day, on a day trip, don't separate your cow and your calf.
As nature would have it, if we weren't here, guess what? That cow would not get sick because that calf would be draining the cow. So
that's right. So that's where your freedom comes from, and that is why we love it so much. Okay, so here's just a quick recap of the benefits of calf sharing. The first one, we've already mentioned 100 times because it's our absolute favorite benefit, and that is the freedom and flexibility from our homestead. Yes, so that is where you can actually leave your homestead, and one nice thing about that is when you have a farm and you have a homestead, it does come with a lot of responsibilities, and you'll usually have to find somebody that'll come when you're away on vacation or just gone for a couple days to have to come and look after your animals and feed them. Can you imagine how difficult it would be if you had to also find somebody that's qualified enough to milk your cows?
So that leads us to number 2. Which is you do not have to worry about your cow whenever you're gone in terms of her being drained, because that calf will drain her for you.
Yes, so you don't have to be as worried about that cow, your cow getting mastitis, which is a huge concern in commercial dairy farms.
All right, so number 3, as we mentioned earlier, you will get to stock your freezer with beef, because as soon as you wean the calf that she has to go into milk in the first place, you're gonna have to, if you want to continue calf sharing, take that calf's place with another calf, which you can make it a beef cow if you want to.
Or, I mean, you can make it any cow you want. If you don't want to stock your freezer, you can also sell that cow, and so it's another stream of income from the for the homestead.
All right, so number 4, if you've ever looked into formula for a calf, just like formula for a human baby, it is extremely expensive.
Yes.
So number 4 is, with you having your calf being raised on its mother's milk,
which is better for them anyways, you're not having to give them formula, which formula costs money, so you're saving money and you're also raising a healthier calf.
All right, so we just gave you all these amazing bullet points on why you should calf share. So are there any downsides at all?
The only downside that I can think of is that you're obviously not going to get as much milk. So if you're in it to be selling tons of milk and make quite a bit of money, like a commercial dairy, you're not going to get as much milk doing calf sharing. So that's why they don't calf share. But that's the only thing that I can think. So,
and you are not going to make loads of money anyway with 1 cow, even 5 cows. You're not going to make loads of money anyway, even if you're milking, you know, twice a day on all 5 cows. I mean, you're just not. So that's not why you'd be getting into this in the first place.
No, I don't feel like anyone with a family milk cow, I feel like would be crazy not to calf share.
So whenever we were looking into buying a cow in the first place, we decided then, whenever we discovered calf sharing, that that was the route we were going to go.
Yeah, that was the breaking point. That was the deciding factor, is that, oh, we won't be tied down to the homestead with calf sharing. So that's when we decided to go for it. Give it a try.
As we mentioned in our goofy intro, you're reading forum after forum and people are like, you're going to be tied down, you can't go anywhere, so don't get a milk cow unless you're serious about the farm and never want to leave and have new life. So that kind of deterred us as well, which is kind of why we made fun of it. But the calf sharing brought us back and allowed us to have the freedom that we wanted and still have the milk that we wanted.
Yeah, so I hope this video has inspired you to want to get a family milk cow and to try calf sharing, and let you know that it is totally possible, even from beginners like us. We love calf sharing. It's a wonderful opportunity, and you still get all the benefits of having raw milk on your farm without being tied down.
So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not already, and God bless you guys.
God bless.